Hello everyone, welcome to Science Prodigy. Today we will be continuing motion in 1D. Okay, so on the previous day we did the part till acceleration. You can get the previous video in the playlist of physics class 9. So in the previous video we had also discussed about uniform motion, non-uniform motion, accelerated motion. We discussed about how does the graph of uniform and non-uniform motion look like, what is the difference between distance and displacement, velocity and speed, what is vector, what is scalar, and the entire introductory part with important questions as well as the needed definition. So if you have missed it out, you can go and get it in the playlist there. So we will be continuing from the next part, that is what is acceleration. Last day also we had an intro of acceleration, and so today we will be moving mainly towards the equations of uniformly accelerated motion, and I will try to solve the most important questions on equations of uniformly accelerated motion. So if you are not sitting with a pen and a copy, please do ensure that you do. Okay, so let us begin. First of all, last day also as I said, what is acceleration? Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So if I would like to represent acceleration in a very simpler manner, how would it be? So now, because acceleration is a vector quantity, I use this arrow over it. It is nothing but the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Okay, so this delta symbol actually shows that there is a change of velocity and the change of time, and in that span if I see that delta v value is positive, then it is known as a positive acceleration. Okay, because acceleration is a positive value, so that means the body is actually accelerating, there is an increase in its speed, which is its acceleration. Okay, now if I actually go for delta v and I find that delta v value is nothing but it is negative, that means the body is decelerating. Okay, that means there is a change in the velocity in terms of decreasing, that is the velocity is decreasing in this particular direction. So it is said to be decelerating or negative acceleration or retardation. Okay, so this is how we actually determine. So if this acceleration is decelerating in this direction, that means it is actually accelerating in the opposite direction, because for this direction there is a decrease in speed, that is why it is decelerating or retarding, but for the opposite direction there is actually an increase in speed, so for the opposite direction there is an acceleration. Okay, now first of all let us discuss what are the main equations of uniformly accelerated motion. But what do I mean when I say uniformly accelerated? Stressing on this particular term, uniformly accelerated motion, the kind of motion where the acceleration is uniform, the acceleration is constant. That means when I say uniformly accelerated motion, A is constant. What does that mean? This implies that delta v is constant. What is delta v? The change in velocity, that means the change in velocity at a certain interval of time is remaining constant. Okay, that is delta v, or the change in velocity for this interval, for the next interval, for the next same interval is remaining constant. So what are the most important equations on uniformly accelerated motion? The first one is v is equal to u plus at, that is the first equation of uniformly accelerated motion. So I am just writing them down and then we will be deriving each of them. Okay, first one is v is equal to u plus at. The second one is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Whenever I am denoting a plus sign, I am considering that there is an acceleration. But if it is observed that there is a deceleration or there is a retardation, then this will be a minus sign for retardation, okay, because the acceleration is negative in that case. And the third equation of uniformly accelerated motion is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. And there is one more equation which is sometimes needed, sometimes it may not be needed, which is u plus half of a into 2n minus 1, okay, where we are actually able to calculate the displacement in one particular second, that is the displacement in the nth second. So these are the four most required and the four equations which are applied when there is a constant velocity. You cannot apply it any time. There is a criteria for applying this, that is only when there is a constant acceleration, when the acceleration is said to remain constant for a certain period of time, then these equations can be used to solve the questions in real life problems as well. Okay. So now moving forward to the derivation of these equations. Now if I go for the theoretical proof of this first equation of uniformly accelerated motion, first of all, what is acceleration? Acceleration is the change of velocity with respect to time. So change of velocity, when I am talking about positive acceleration, is v minus u by change in time is t minus 0, that is ultimately t. Now if I multiply these two, at is equals to v minus u. This implies that v is equal to u plus at, okay. So this is how we get the first equation of uniformly accelerated motion. Moving towards the second equation of uniformly accelerated motion, the second equation is s is equal to ut plus half of at square. Now if I write this down, s is equal to ut plus half of at square. So how to prove this particular equation? So when I am trying to prove this, first of all, what is displacement? Displacement is the average velocity into time, if it is not a uniform velocity. Why not a uniform velocity? Because here there is an acceleration, this is an accelerated motion, so there is no uniform velocity here. We have to go for the average velocity, because it is an accelerated motion, means there is a change in velocity with respect to time. So we have to go for displacement as average velocity into time. So what is average velocity? Initial velocity plus final velocity by 2 into the time period is t. Now when I am talking about final velocity v, in the previous equation, that is the first equation of uniformly accelerated motion, we came to see that v is nothing but u plus at, right? So if I substitute this value over here, I get that it is u plus at into t by 2. So this value now becomes 2u by 2 plus at square by 2. That implies s is equals to u, sorry, there is also t over here, it is also multiplying with this one. So s becomes ut plus half of at square, okay, hence proved. So this is how we prove the second equation of uniformly accelerated motion, okay. Now moving towards the third equation, it is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So how do I derive it? So now whenever I am moving to the third equation, I can actually use the first two, okay. So from the first one, which is v is equals to u plus at, if I take the value of t, it is v minus u by a first of all, and then for the second one, if I see, it is ut plus half of at square. So I can use the previous two. Here I will be substituting the value of t obtained from equation 1. So if I do this, I will be seeing that this value becomes the following. Now after the calculation, this becomes uv minus u square by a plus, so if this gets cancelled, this becomes a 2a and there is v square minus u square, v square plus u square minus 2uv. Now if I go for the normal doing LCM of it, I find that after it is done as 2a, it is 2uv minus 2uv getting cancelled off, v square minus 2u square plus u square, if you observe it, so it becomes v square minus u square. So that means if I see S is equals to v square minus u square by 2a, hence v square cross multiplying this and then bringing u square to this side, 2as, 2a taken on this side, next step taking u square, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Hence we derived the third equation from the previous two. The fourth equation is for your knowledge. In some boards it is required, in some boards it is not required. So I just suggested the fourth one as well. Okay. So moving towards certain numericals. So as you can see, we are beginning with a very beginner level of problems and then we will be moving to the higher levels. The first question is, find out the acceleration of a body accelerated uniformly. The moment I state accelerated uniformly, that means these three equations can be used. If the speed changes from 30 meter per second to 40 meter per second in 5 seconds. So first question is a very beginner type of question. So as you can see the given data, u is given as 30 meter per second, v is given as 40 meter per second and t is given as 5 seconds, and we have to find the value of acceleration. So we can pretty well understand that the first equation needs to be used. So v is equals to u plus at, and as a result acceleration is v minus u by t, that is 40 minus 30, 10 by 5, which is 2 meter per second square. Okay. Now moving to the next question. So as you can see, question number 2 states that a racing car has an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. So what distance will it cover 20 seconds after the start? So when I say after the start, that means u is actually 0. Initially it is at rest. Now the time period is given as 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, what will be the distance covered? We have to find the value of s, and a is given as 5 meter per second squared. So I can see that a and t and u are given. So I can apply the second equation of motion, which is s is equals to ut plus half of at square. So then finding the distance will become easier, because u is 0, this term totally becomes 0, and for the next part it is half of 5 into 20 square. So upon cancellation, this value becomes 1000 meter. Okay, and this is our answer. So continuing towards the third question, it is given that brakes are applied to a car which produces a negative acceleration of 90 centimeter per second square. If the car takes 30 seconds to stop, what distance did it travel during this interval? So as per the given part, it is 90 minus 90 centimeter per second square is the acceleration, that is the retardation here, and then the time period is given as 30 seconds, and because it is stopping after a certain time interval, so I can consider that final velocity becomes 0. So if I first of all go for applying the first equation of motion, because I can see that v, t and a are given. So upon applying that, I can actually get the value of u, which is v minus at is equals to u. Okay. Now v is 0 minus of, because it is a negative acceleration, I use the negative acceleration into 30. So this value becomes, the initial velocity was 2700 centimeter per second square. Now it has been asked that what is the distance travelled during this particular time period. So as soon as I found out the value of u, I can directly use ut plus half of at square. So ut is 2700 into time period is 30 seconds plus half of at square means a is minus 90, t square is 30 square. So this part becomes 81,000 minus half of 90 into 900. So this value becomes 8100 minus 40500 centimeters. So the final answer is 40500 centimeters. Okay. In question number 4, it is given that a train travels at the speed of 72 km per hour. On applying brakes, a uniform retardation of 0.5 meter per second square is produced. How far will the train go before coming down to rest? That means it has been asked to find the distance moved before v becomes equal to 0. So final velocity is 0. We have to find the value of s. The initial velocity u is 72 km per hour. And the retardation produced is minus 0.5 meter per second square. We are asked to find the value of s. Now u and acceleration are in different units. So if I convert u in meter per second square, I have to multiply this with 5 by 18 meter per second. If I want to convert it in meter per second, then this value becomes 20 meter per second. Now u, a and v is given, we have to find the value of s. So this is only present in this format can be only used for the third equation, which is v square minus u square by 2a is equal to s. Okay. So for the final velocity is 0. The initial velocity will become 20 square 400, and the 2a part becomes 2 into minus of 0.5, which is the final displacement. Now you can see that the displacement will not be coming as negative because the minus sign cancels over here, and finally we have the displacement as 400 meter. Okay. So this is our final answer, that it travels a distance of 400 meter before coming down to rest. Now moving towards free fall. Okay. So when it is given that there is a free fall, an object falling down from a ball or an object being thrown from a certain building, this particular object or the particle which is thrown actually experiences a free fall. That is, it is falling down under the acceleration due to gravity of the earth, and the acceleration due to gravity of the earth has a constant value which is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay. So if I go for free fall, you will see that whenever an object is thrown or it is actually lifted upwards, all these type of questions where the ultimate factor acceleration is the acceleration due to gravity involved, we have to use 9.8 meter per second square. Wherever you see that there is no acceleration, but it is under the acceleration of the earth. So now how do we apply them? It is very simple. This value is often known as g. Okay. So I will be using the same equations but in a bit modified way. We have to use it. It becomes half of gt square in case of free fall, and v square is equals to u square plus 2gs. Okay. The derivations remain the same just like for any other uniformly accelerated motion. For uniformly accelerated motion also and for free fall also, the derivation is the same. For free fall, we just have to put in the value of g, which is 9.8 meter per second square. So today's video is till this much. Next day we will be doing questions on free fall, and the remaining part of the chapter will be totally completed in the next video. I will try to cover important numericals on the entire chapter involving several steps and of the next higher level. Okay. So today it was a beginners class. So beginners numericals were done here. So better numericals will be coming up in the next video as well. So till then, thanks for watching and keep watching, keep studying. Thank you.